Okay, we're back for part 2 of test route number 4 in Hull, and we're just on Bev High Road, okay, from where we were before, and we're coming down just past Skoda on my right hand side, keeping an eye on all these traffic lights, all these crossings, people turning from the right hand side in front of you, being aware of any of these lights changing. Now, we're going to be following the road ahead. It could make it either could tell you to go right or, you know, anything, but we're going to be going following the road ahead. If you've been stuck here for quite some time, make sure you're checking your left and right mirror for cyclists coming up behind you or alongside you. If they get close, let them move off before you start moving off. Don't wait for them to get close, but if they're close, let them move off and let them go past you before you start moving off. Now, as I'm coming up to here, we've got the 30 mile an hour sign in front of us, obviously, you know, making sure that we're at 30 before we enter into this zone, and both lanes can be used to go straight on. Now, I'm going to show you the problem with obviously using the left hand side lane. Is that as we go through these traffic lights, Sutton Road to my left hand side, Greenwood Avenue on my right hand side, Pilot Pub just to my right hand side, as we're going through, bus lane straight in front of you. Pop that signal on as we're going through the lights, looking and making sure that you can move into this lane. Now, it's a Sunday for me now at this moment in time, but you know, so I could use it, but I'm, you know, when you're on test, you won't be able to use any bus lanes, unless you're on a test on a Sunday, obviously. They're in force, you know, all throughout testing times. So stay out of these bus lanes, unless you're asked to park, which you can do because there are parking spaces. So if there are parking spaces and they ask you to pull up on the left hand side, don't worry about going into the bus lane. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. As long as you don't travel within the bus lane, pick a spot and move over and park into it. And the bus lane's all the way up, you know, all the way up to past Cotting Road and you know, all the way up until you get up, well, until you get to Cottingham Road. It ends just before Cottingham Road to allow vehicles to move over to the left hand side lane to go left, etc. But we're going to be going right at these next set of traffic lights. Desmond Av's just on my left hand side. Mirror checks, signal just before the yellow box. Don't cross over until we're past this white line on the right hand side. Separate them going into Desmond Ave and us coming into here to go towards Inglemeyer Lane. Green light goes on. Okay, now obviously if there's nobody coming, we can just go. Going to the point where you're just covering the white arrow. You don't have to wait for the green arrow. As soon as they've gone, you go. If the orange light comes on, the red light comes on, if it's safe to do so, you go. The lights don't apply to you at that point. Just use your judgment. We're going to go second left into Inglemeyer Avenue. And as we're coming around into here, it is a one-way street. Nothing wrong with you just coming into the middle. too much about it, okay? And they might get you to pull up on the left hand side, they might get you to do a reverse parallel park. One thing you have to be aware of is schools, and you know it is a school area, okay? You know, really don't worry too much if you're down here and you're doing 10-12 miles an hour because there's school children around here, and you know you're really just trying to look down the road to make sure it's safe. Now, as you come out at the end of here, if you were turning right, you would be on the right hand side. We're just going to be going left. Always make sure we're back into that right hand side. If we're turning right, it's a one-way street. Getting into here, it's 20 miles an hour. And we're going to be going straight on down Ingle Mile Lane, okay? Now, because it's one of these roundabouts that's painted on the ground, be aware of anything coming from straight ahead that could cut in front of you, going over the roundabout and not bothering to, you know, adhere to the rules of the roundabout. If they're coming from ahead of you, they're not, they've not got any priority over you. But people, you know, they'll do what they do. Again, this is commonplace for people to be starting to walk out. So somewhere like here where you see a gap in the traffic, cover your brake, cover your clutch, just in case there's people walking, you know, from one side to another. You have to be going towards playing fields and such like that. Nothing wrong with giving a bit of an extra wide berth here on to the side of us. Classic example of where they could get you to pull up on the right hand side anywhere down here, okay? So coming down the road, obviously you've got to give way to oncoming vehicles at this point. Now this van is bombing it down here. It really didn't want me to be going first, even though I was getting there earlier. Now, don't know if you noticed what speed I was going, but all down there that was 20 miles an hour. Okay? It looks like it should, you know, missing a wide open road. Be aware of your speed limits. Having left that down here, okay, Martin Grove, and as we're coming down, we cannot turn right onto the quadrant. No right turn, it's telling you to turn left. No entry signs here. I'd still signal. You're signalling for pedestrians. When you can do, come out away from these the bike lane. Obviously anybody in that bike lane, if there was a bike in that bike lane, they've got priority, you know, you've got to hold back behind them. Don't worry about going too slow if you have to. I'm going to be taking the next road on the left. Seen some kids just playing at the side just there, covering my brake as we're going, approaching. Again here, just approaching all of these parked cars. There's nothing wrong with just coming off the gas and just letting the car roll, and like you're looking for gaps to see if there's certain children playing at the side of the road. Looking underneath underneath all the cars, underneath the vans. So approaching the vans like this, or where the gaps in the traffic, just cover, I'll come off the gas, cover my brake, okay? And again, off the gas, cover my brake, looking for anything. Nothing wrong with going these speeds, you know, down here. You're trying to be aware of anything that could be coming, you know, popping out from anywhere. Especially these bigger vehicles. You can see, you can kind of start to see through, you know, parked cars. It's these larger vehicles that you want to be aware of. I'm going to be turning left. And at the end of the road, I'm also going to be turning left. Now, this next set of traffic lights, I'm going to be turning right. Towards Chancellor Crematorium. Notice how I'm just easing off the gas again, okay? Nice and slow on approach, slowing down using the brake. Really nice, trying to spot that gap in the traffic. Obviously, if there's not one that's there, fine. Remember, if there's a gap in the traffic, you don't have to wait for that green arrow to come on. You can just go when you can do. As soon as something like that happens, cover your brake, cover your clutch. As soon as I saw him coming, thinking about mirror check, off gas, cover brake and clutch, being prepared and ready to stop. We're going to be taking the next road on the left. And we're just going to be pulling up and ending part 2. As soon as it's safe to do so. Okay, I can't really pull up at the moment. Just going to pull in here. There we go. And don't worry, I'm not staying, I'm not blocking a driveway for too much. I'm just using this as a starting point for the next one. Okay, I will catch you in part 3 shortly.